Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive.
Absolutely. Always excited to dig into these stories.
Today we're looking at something really special. It's called Miss Thompson's second chapter.
Oh, I think I read that one. It's about the Meals on Wheels program, right?
Yeah, exactly. It follows this retired teacher, Miss Thompson, and how Meals on Wheels really made a difference for her.
It's more than just meals, though, isn't it?
Right.
That's that human connection, too, right?
Exactly. It
Yeah.
really gets into how, after a lifetime of giving to others, she finds herself in a place where she needs help.
I think a lot of people can probably relate to that shift, especially as we age.
So picture this. Miss Thompson, she was an elementary school teacher for 30 years?
Wow, that's a long time to dedicate yourself to something like that.
Right. And from what I gathered, she loved it. It was her passion.
You can imagine the energy she must have had, surrounded by kids all day.
Totally. But then retirement hits, and not long after, she's diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. MS.
Oh, wow. Yeah, MS can be really tough, especially as it progresses.
And it did. It starts affecting her mobility, and eventually she becomes homebound.
That's a huge change. I mean, going from a life that's so active and social to, well, being stuck at home.
It is. It's like a complete 180.
Yeah.
And I think, for someone who dedicated her life to taking care of others, needing that care herself, it's got to be tough.
I think for anyone, that loss of independence is hard.
Right.
But especially for someone like Miss Thompson.
Totally. And I think that's where Meals on Wheels really comes in.
Because it's not just about the food, right?
No, not at all. It's that knock on the door. It's a friendly face. It's someone to actually talk to, even if it's just for a few minutes.
And for someone who's isolated, that can make a world of difference.
Oh, absolutely. And in this story, Miss Thompson's volunteer, Olivia, she becomes like this lifeline.
I remember that part. Olivia, right.
It's amazing how these programs can foster these incredible bonds between people. Yeah. And Miss Thompson even says at one point, she reminds me that I'm not alone. She brings more than food. She brings kindness.
That's so powerful. Just that little act of kindness, it can mean so much.
And it's not just a one-way street either, right?
Huh.
Olivia, she talks about how much she enjoys their conversations, how much she learns from Miss Thompson.
Yeah, I was going to say volunteering can be just as enriching for the volunteer.
Right. You get this sense of purpose, and honestly, you learn so much from the people you help.
I think sometimes we forget that. We focus on the people receiving the help, but the givers, they benefit too.
Absolutely. It's like we all need each other.
Yeah.
And it's about recognizing that and building those connections.
Which is something Miss Thompson seems to be learning even more in this stage of her life.
She does, yeah. At the end, she talks about how even with retirement and health challenges, she's still learning about gratitude, community, and the power of kindness.
That's beautiful. Really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it?
It does. But it also makes you think, like Miss Thompson, she found that connection through this organized program. But how can we, in our everyday lives, do the same? How can we create those moments of connection for people around us?
That's a good question to consider. I mean, even just a simple hello to a neighbor or checking in on an elderly relative, those things can make a huge difference.
I think so too. So as we wrap up today, let's all try to remember that. A little kindness goes a long way. It might even be the start of someone's second chapter.
It just might be.
Thanks for joining us today for another deep dive.
See you next time.
Bye.